Good evening, and thanks for keeping a date with us on the program Transforming Agriculture in Nigeria, a program that keeps you abreast with the potentials and the happenings in the Nigeria agricultural sector. I'm your regular host, Gabriel Ojile. A couple of weeks ago, we brought you a report on the unveiling of the roadmap of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security towards the actualization of the renewed hope agenda of the present administration's push for food security. In matching words with actions, the Honourable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security embarked on a visit to Jigawa and Kano States in preparation for the dry season farming of wheat and other crops. The impact of that tour on food security of the nation would be our focus on tonight's episode of the program. But before then, we have news from the diary of the ministry. Keep watching.
Every part of Nigeria has something to offer.
In our diary tonight, Nigeria marks World Food 2023, commits to ending hunger in Nigeria. Also, Agric Ministry commissions Agribusiness Incubation Center in Kogi, even as Federal University Lokoja confers honorary degree on Umahihe. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and other stakeholders in the agricultural sector on 16th of October 2023 joined the rest of the world to celebrate the World Food Day under the theme, Water is Life, Water is Food, Leave No One Behind. Speaking during the press briefing organized by the Honourable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, described the World Food Day as an annual event to mark the anniversary of the founding of Food and Agricultural Organization in 1945 and to create global awareness and solidarity to end hunger and encourage agriculture. He stated that the theme for this year's World Food is apt and timely as the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has commenced work with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources to harness water for dry season farming and to end hunger in Nigeria.
I am pleased to inform you that a clear roadmap has been drawn up by the Ministry in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Water Resources to optimally harness all water resources available in producing areas including river basins, dams around irrigable lands, and all other wetlands for multiple cropping cycles. This renewed synergy and cooperation between our two ministries has started yielding results as assessment and operational appraisal visits to the River Basin Development Authorities has begun in earnest and will be deployed for the 2023-2024 dry season farming of the federal government in conjunction with states and local governments.
Stakeholders at the briefing included the Food and Agricultural Organization, Action Aid, and Oxfam Nigeria. The call for proper management of water for sustainable agriculture and improved livelihoods. Still on the World Food Day, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security led other stakeholders on a visit to farm clusters in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, to support them with farm inputs. The farm clusters visited cut across those involved in aquaculture, crop production, and livestock farming. Speaking during the presentation of the inputs to Tilakwa Multipurpose Cooperative Society, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, represented by Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Ns. Afolabi Umahihe, stated that the ministry was impressed by the farming activities of the cooperative, hence its decision to support the farm cluster with inputs so that it can produce more to put food on the tables of Nigerians.
So we have here for you maize kits, rice kits, bioinsecticide, pesticide, systemic and coated post-emergence herbicide, pre-emergence herbicide, post-emergence herbicide, natural clean biofertilizer, hand-push planters, knapsack sprayers. I encourage you and use this as a model to reach out to other cooperative farmers.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Speaking in an interview with journalists during the visit, Ibrahim Dauda, who is one of the leaders of the farm clusters visited, appreciated the ministry and pledged proper utilization of the inputs by his cooperative.
After we have departed, I have to come down and organize my cooperative members so that all the input and equipment I must to explain so that we should take the major step so that we can take it and use it by next season.
In an effort to enhance agribusiness in Nigeria, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security has commissioned Agribusiness Incubation Center of the Federal University, Lokoja, Kogi State. The facility was built by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Ernest Afolabi Umahihi, stated that the Agribusiness Incubation Center was built to enhance practical and innovative approaches in agriculture and encourage youth and women in agribusiness. Umahihi added that the center would also facilitate trade and investment in agriculture.
The Incubation Center is being established as a special center of excellence to support and promote food security in Nigeria and to support youth and women empowerment, as well as promote employment generation, wealth creation, poverty reduction through the development of viable agribusiness and entrepreneurship skills in different agricultural value chains across the country.
Also speaking during the ceremony, the Vice Chancellor of Federal University Lokoja, Professor Olayemi Akiumi, appreciated the Ministry and the Permanent Secretary for the Incubation Center and the Access Road. The VC also asked for more.
I want to say that Federal University of Lokoja is very grateful to you. And you gave me the opportunity again to say that better ask more. I'm Oliver Tui, sir. Sir, the road needs to be completed, sir.
The Permanent Secretary immediately granted his request with a promise to complete the road. The Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Dr. Ernest Afolabi Umahihi, was recently honored with a doctorate degree in science at the 6th and 7th convocation of the Federal University Lokoja. The Doctor of Science conferred on him was in recognition of his contribution to the development of the country. Directors of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, friends and family members of the Permanent Secretary witnessed the occasion and felicitated with him. Speaking in an interview with journalists during the ceremony, the Permanent Secretary stated that it is good to impact on the society. Umahihi appreciated the university for the honor and expressed his excitement.
Yeah, I feel fulfilled and I'm happy about the award.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria spent 941.6 billion naira in 2022 on wheat importation. The prices of wheat products such as bread and pasta, among others, have skyrocketed in Nigeria. In an effort to curtail this importation and ensure food security, the present administration, in collaboration with other stakeholders, is supporting wheat farmers and other stakeholders in the value chain to cultivate wheat on 70,000 hectares across the wheat production zone of the country, with an expected yield of 875,000 metric tons for the nation's food security. In a bid to actualize this laudable project, the Honourable Minister visited 2 wheat-producing states of Jigawa and Kano to ensure preparedness for the dry season farming of wheat and other agricultural products. In our next segment, record of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, we shall be focusing on the highlights of the visit and its impact on food security. Sit back and watch.
As part of the tour to prepare for the dry season farming of wheat, the Honourable Minister of Agriculture, Senator Abubakar Kyari, alongside other directors of the ministry and the Acting Director General of National Agricultural Seeds Council, visited a warehouse in Hadejia area of Jigawa State, where wheat seeds are stored for the next farming season.
But this one is subject to cleaning because they have to remove the chaps, they have to remove the stones and other things during the dry season.
So when will that be done?
Immediately.
The Honourable Minister also visited a farming community in Jigawa State where the state government built a dam to harvest water for agricultural purpose. This has saved the community from the challenges they face with flooding. Speaking with journalists during the tour, the Honourable Minister touched on the effort of the federal government to ensure food security. He disclosed that the ministry would support farmers with solar and electrically powered water pumps that would enhance dry season farming, as that would reduce the cost of production emanating from using fuel-powered pumps.
Well, we have some few ones, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in large scale. So, but arrangements, I'm sure by the time, because it's also part of our midterm, short-term and midterm program.
The role of state governments and traditional leaders in the development of agriculture cannot be overemphasized. The Honourable Minister thus visited the Emir of Hadejia, Alhaji Adamu Abubakar Maji. The Emir was represented by the Galadiman Hadejia, Alhaji Usman Abdul Aziz. The minister disclosed to the Emir the commitment of the Tinubu administration to food security and the support for wheat farming in Jigawa State, alongside other wheat-producing states.
The President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not quite long ago, promised to tackle the problem of food crisis. This explains why he changed the name of the ministry from Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. For we know on fact that Jigawa is one of the states to receive attention. We therefore call for cooperation to achieve this objective.
The representative of the Emir on behalf of the Emir of Hadejia appreciated the move by the federal government to support wheat farming. He also urged government not to relent in fulfilling the campaign promises of supporting farmers and ensure food security.
We call for a proper arrangement for the actualization of government's plan. Provide tools and equipment at subsidized rate. Repayment arrangements should also be made less stringent. If all these are done, there is surely going to be greater participation.
The minister also visited the governor of Jigawa State, Umar Namadi, at the government house in Dutse. He appreciated the governor for providing 40 hectares of land for the cultivation of wheat in the proposed 70 hectares of wheat by the federal government. The minister added that the purpose of the visit was to assess the preparedness of the state for the dry season farming of wheat.
So we have seen your leadership, we have seen your commitment. And I remember when we initially sought to do 50,000 hectares for the wheat program this year, we immediately offered to give 40,000 hectares in Jigawa. And that is the reason why we are here, is to come and see the level of preparedness and also engage your officials on the way forward. And we're very happy today that because of your commitment, we have even upped the target from 50,000 to 70,000. So we're appealing to other states as well to emulate the commitment and the vision of the Jigawa State Governor in trying to address this particular menace that is up against us.
The minister then disclosed that the federal government would support wheat farmers in the state and other wheat-producing states with 50% of inputs such as fertilizer, seeds and agrochemicals, and calls for collaboration.
Your Excellency, the wheat farming season that we have this year is going to be supported by other partners and the federal government and states. We want to provide 50% of the inputs, and we are also looking at other ways to support other states as well in terms of we've just been talking about land clearing and things like that.
The minister also commended the governor for her nascent flowed water for agricultural purpose and urged other state governments to follow suit.
Our land is shrinking, and I'm actually happy to see what you have done in Buri, where you have turned from being a flood-prone area to a viable agricultural land. This is what we expect other people to do, to harness and take advantage of the situation that we have today in terms of the flooding and the climatic change, the global climatic change. Today, some of our land is being taken over by insurgents and banditry and desertification, and we also have the coastal erosion in the south, and also the flood in the mid section of the country. And I think what we need to do, part of our direction, is to make sure we harness some of these disadvantages to our own advantage.
The governor of Jigawa State, Umar Namadi, also appreciated the minister for the visit and pledged his support and the readiness of farmers and other stakeholders to engage wheat farming in Jigawa State.
Out of the 50,000 hectares, you offered us 40,000 hectares. This is a confidence you have reposed on us. And I want to assure you that Jigawa State will not fail you on that regard. Like you said, Honourable, is that in Jigawa State, we are used to taking challenges. Our farmers are ready, and our people in the Ministry of Agriculture are dedicated.
In recognition of the critical role the private sector plays in the agricultural sector and food security in general, the minister, as part of his tour, visited Malam Alu Agro-Allied Company in Birnin Kudu local government area of Jigawa State to see his investment in agriculture and how the ministry could collaborate with the farm to support smallholder farmers. Some of the areas visited in the Malam Alu Agro-Allied Company is the greenhouse farming section, where vegetable crops such as tomatoes are grown in an enclosed environment. Other section of the farm is the cattle ranch, where the cattle are reared without having hitches with crop farmers. One of the important areas of the farm that has positive impact on the small-scale farmers is the Malam Alu fertilizer blending plant established within the farm. Established through the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative, Alu fertilizer blending plant has the capacity to produce 40 metric tons of fertilizer per hour, and it produces for at least 8 hours per day. The chairman, Malam Alu Agro-Allied Company, Honourable Farouk Adamu Aliyu, also showed the minister a pictorial history of how the farm was built. After the inspection of the facilities and potentials of the Alu farm, the Honourable Minister, the chairman of Malam Alu Agro-Allied Company, and the other stakeholders had a meeting to discuss on the need for collaboration to enhance food security. The minister described Malam Alu's farm as an agro-tourism site where farmers and potential farmers can come to learn how to do modern agriculture.
And one thing that you just mentioned that is really that has been on my mind is the issue of the conference center and also the hotel. That is the way to go really, because the future of agriculture is in agrotourism, because we want to bring a lot of people into agriculture, and by doing so, when you invite them and they see things, I'm sure most of us that have seen these things, the kind of setup he has, will learn a lot of things from this visit, and maybe we may go and replicate exactly somewhere else.
The Honourable Minister also commended Alu's farm for its impact in employment generation, while exploring the possibility of training and establishing such greenhouse farms by Nigerians in other places.
So we have observed that there's a lot of collaboration and partnership from outside, but I have not seen a single foreigner operating today. I have not seen a single. It's all local. So which is fantastic, which is that transfer of technology and capabilities. And that is very key to our own growth as a nation. So, and I'm sure after a while with your management and staff and your people, you may even start developing some of these greenhouses locally. Because you have seen, you know how to manage the processes, you have seen how it was built, and all and what have you. So I think this is fantastic. This is also the kind of thing that we're looking for, transfer of technology and knowledge. So I would like to congratulate you and also thank you very much for such a venture. And it's not a regrettable visit at all.
The Director, Federal Department of Agriculture and Food Security, Engineer Abdullahi Abubakar Bello, who was part of the minister's entourage, described the visit to Alu's farm as highly inspirational, pointing out that the ministry can support the farm with milking machines, feed crushers, among other collaboration.
This is something we have been seeing outside this country, and now we are seeing it physically within this country. For me, anytime the television are showing this program, I stop whatever I'm doing to see it to the end. I'm very happy that I'm here live today to see it. And I think there is a lot that this place can benefit from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. It is not always enough to say that you cannot get anything within this country unless you go out. I want to believe there are a lot of things that other farmers have benefited, which I think Madam Alu can also benefit from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. As small as some of these small equipment that can help you trash your corn stock into animal feeds. And we are even thinking we may likely have some of these mobile milking machines that can be taken from one point to the other.
Also speaking, the former Honourable Chairman, House of Representative Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions, Munir Babadang Abundi, applauded the visit of the minister while commending the chairman of the Alu farm for the fertilizer blending plant, which has created jobs for Nigerians and also enhanced food security for the nation.
But my joy today is the zeal for the minister to come out and see things for himself in order to move agriculture the way it should be in this country. And I want to believe that this kind of investment, Honourable Minister, you've seen what he has stocked in his fertilizer processing plant. And the only thing that government can do for him is to effectively utilize the fertilizer when it's buying fertilizer from other blenders in the country, so that as he sells the fertilizer, the profit can be able to go around. Look at the number of people he employs. I think I have seen about 3 people from my constituency in Kano, from my constituency. So this kind of business, Honourable Minister, you see, at times in those days we do agriculture in Abuja. But what you are doing now is to come out and see for yourself.
From the Malam Alu Agro-Allied Company, the Honourable Minister and his entourage took off for a 10-hectare rice farm in Marma, Guri local government area of Jigawa State. The visit was an evaluation of the productivity of the rice varieties for possible adoption for the dry season farming of rice in Nigeria. The Honourable Minister of Agriculture and his entourage also visited Albasu maize flour in Kano to strengthen value addition of maize and other crops.
We are not here to, for camera's sake. No. We are here for actual performance. Whatever they need,
The minister also visited the Kano branch of the Premier Seed Nigeria Limited and inspected the wheat seeds for the next farming season.
The federal government is ready to ensure food security in Nigeria, and there is need for the support of the state government, local government, development partners, farmers, and other stakeholders in the private sector to ensure that Nigeria is food secure. This is the much we have for you on this episode of the program. Join us again same time, same station next week for another interesting package. I am Gabriel Ojile. Good night.